Hello everybody, welcome back to Flower Club. We have a very exciting selection of flowers this week. We are going to be deconstructing some sunflowers, and I can't wait. I've been wanting to do this for weeks, so I've finally got my wish. So let's introduce the rest of the flowers. Starting with foliage, we have beautiful tea tree, gorgeous and fluffy. We have sedum. Like I said, we have some beautiful sunny sunflowers. And our focal today are these really fun, interesting pineapple lilies. Rightio. I'll be designing into kind of a bit of a taller vase because we've got a lot of height going on. And let's start with our prepping. So I'll start with the tea tree, which is native to Australia. And it's very bushy, so we're going to strip a lot of those leaves off from the lower stem. They're very easy to strip off. And if you're new to Flower Club and you don't know why we're always stripping the lower leaves off, we keep these out of the waterline. Anything below the waterline gets removed as to not introduce any extra bacteria into the water. We want to try and keep it as clean as possible. Sedum doesn't really need anything. It's nice and clean already, so that can go to the side too. Same with the pineapple lilies. We've kind of just nice and bare. The only thing that we're going to do with these sunflowers is I'm actually going to, I don't know if anyone's seen this, if anyone follows, floristry pages on Instagram or looks on Pinterest, removing the petals of the sunflower. So it's just this kind of interesting green border of spiky petals with the dark center. So what we're going to do with our sunflowers is remove all of the yellow petals to leave just the dark center with the green spiky guard petals on the outside. So it creates a really interesting look. You don't have to do this, but I thought it was really cool. And if you don't want to do it, that's totally fine. What I'm going to do is get down really low, right to the base, and pull them out. I'm trying to get all the way in and remove as much of the yellow as I can. So it just leaves the green and the dark center. Alrighty, so I've taken off all of my petals. You can see this is the kind of look that we're left with. It's kind of interesting, it's a way that you don't really see sunflowers. It kind of really transforms them. So if you do want to have a go at doing that, go for it. And if you don't, you are the florist. You leave them on, whatever you want to do. Moving right along, we are going to start with basing the vase with our foliage. If you're using a glass vase, the tea tree will probably turn your water a darker color. It might go a little bit of like a brownish color, just from the oils. So don't be afraid if it goes a little bit brown, but that's why a ceramic vase, when you're using Australian natives like gum or tea tree, sometimes works a bit better, just if you don't want to have brown water. I'm going to kind of see how tall these are going to be. Yeah, keep them around the same-ish height. If you ever have trouble cutting through your stem, you can just do a little cut and then snap, and then continue through. Alrighty, so I've placed all of my tea tree in. I've kind of kept it quite bushy, not in the waterline, but just where the base of the vase is, just to fill that out and make sure nothing's moving around too much. And now I'm going to go in with my sedum. So I'm going to have my pineapple lilies up nice and high, and then my sunflowers kind of popped throughout, and then my sedum kind of playing a little bit of a supporting role. So I think I might actually place my pineapple lilies first, kind of in levels. I'm going to do some levels, high, medium, low. Let's see, which is my star. Okay, it's looking a little crazy right now, but this is where we're at the moment. I've cut this middle one quite low, so it's kind of nestled in with the center. So this is what we're kind of looking like at the moment. Looking a little crazy when it's just the pineapple lilies by themselves. But I've cut my lowest one quite low, so it kind of meets with all of the tea tree down here, and kept my tallest one quite tall. So let's go in with our lovely sunflowers that aren't quite sunflowers anymore. Okay, find my biggest one. I might remove a couple of the leaves, but I don't mind them, so I might leave a few on. I like to bring my vase to the edge of the I'm working on so I can measure against and just see whatever's left over below the vase is what we're going to remove. another 3 levels, and then I'm going to add the last 2 kind of over here to balance it out. So this is where we are at. And now for the sedum, this is going to add a little bit more color and brighten it up a little bit. I want to kind of break up what's going on down here. Alrighty, we are all done. Now, this might not be everybody's taste, but I personally love this kind of a thing. It's a little dark, it's a little wild, and you know, this might be a little bit of a new look. Don't be afraid. The best thing about floristry is that you can just get creative, try something new, design with a flower that you might not have designed with before, or use a flower like the sunflowers in a way that you haven't used them before. So I hope you enjoyed this week's Flower Club. Thank you so much for joining me along with Flower Club this week, and I can't wait to see you next time. Bye!